Mr. Speaker, under the Anti-Doping in Sport Act 2011, the Bermuda Sport Anti-Doping Authority was established to give effect to the International Convention Against Doping in Sport of 2005, which came into force in Bermuda in June 2006. Prior to this, the authority was set up as a charity and called the Bermuda Council for Drug-Free Sport. The authority's function is to facilitate the control and prevention of doping in sport and thereby enable all athletes to compete on the international stage, in addition to providing sample collection services for many international sporting events brought to our shores, namely the International Triathlon, World Series Triathlon, the Bermuda Marathon, and the Junior Caribbean Cycling Championships, just to name a few. This is done through a program of education and doping control procedures and results management. This includes following the World Anti-Doping Agency standards to establish and implement comprehensive anti-doping rules which must adhere to the Water Code, international standards, and many guidelines. An extensive education program for athletes, athlete support personnel, administrators, participants, and the general public on anti-doping and the promotion of health, fairness, and equity in sport. Detailed protocols for results management. Detailed protocols for therapeutic use exemptions. Research relevant to anti-doping. The development of an athlete testing program, including the development of protocols governing the location and whereabouts of athletes for the purpose of testing. Bermuda Sport Anti-Doping Authority continues to ensure all athletes are tested under the illicit policy, a domestic program, prior to representing our island either locally or internationally. Mr. Speaker, the Act also establishes a board of authority who shall monitor the administrative operations of the authority, ensure that correct protocols are followed in the process of securing samples, ensure that the rights of everyone involved in the doping control procedures are respected, assist in ensuring that the authority receives and manages funds in a prudent manner. Mr. Speaker, Section 17 of the Act also requires the authority to present to the Minister a report of its proceedings for the year, including the audited accounts, and for the Minister to lay the same within the House of Assembly, which was done today. Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General has signed off on the financial statements stating that they present a fair view of the authority. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight a number of items from the report and audited accounts. The authority continues to be fully compliant with the World Anti-Doping Agency requirements. Through their sample collections at the local sporting events and in partnership with other national anti-doping organizations from around the world, including Canada, Denmark, United Kingdom, United States, the authority has been able to ensure the testing requirements of both local and overseas-based Bermudian athletes getting fulfilled. Their educational initiatives continue to be of paramount importance, including providing advice to athletes and coaches on all aspects of the illicit and anti-doping programs. Mr. Speaker, under the Performance Enhancing Program, some 57 samples were taken for testing during the year, 51 urine and 6 blood. There were 2 adverse analytical findings, both of which related to foreign athletes who competed in Bermuda. There were 3 positive results under the illicit drug policy, where the substance in all 3 cases was THC. The authority's International Doping Control Partnership was expanded with Mrs. Marionette Zool, a doping control officer, represented Bermuda at the 2017 World Youth Commonwealth Games in Nassau, Bahamas in July. The Bahamas Anti-Doping Commission commended Mrs. Zool on her expertise and teamwork. Mr. Speaker, the authority's revenue for the financial year is mainly made up of a grant of $650,000 from the Department of youth, sport, and recreation. Expenses include some $256,672 for the Performance Enhancement Testing Program and $137,792 for the Illicit Drug Screening Program. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Board under the chairmanship of Mr. Michael Smith and the staff of the agency under the leadership of the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Deborah Hunter, for their dedication and hard work during this year. With that, I would, with those words, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.